What is up, everybody? Just enjoying my coffee here? Because you're only a photographer when you drink coffee in your video, so that's what we're doing here. Welcome to our living room. We got a very sad looking white wall here right behind me because Mike recently sold a large print that we had hanging there. So why are we talking about this sad wall right now, you ask? Good question. Because today we're going out into the field. I will show you a few things to consider when shooting for a large print, and then we'll be back here in the office and I show you a few tips and tricks for editing. And by the end of this video, we hopefully have a beautiful print right here on this wall and no more sad white wall. Let's pack our camera gear and get going. Okay, we made it out here successfully. Probably the most important thing when photographing for a large print is that your photo is in focus. Because if you print large, every single detail will show up, and even with all the Photoshop skills in the world, you will not get a sharp photo from a blurry image. Here are a few tips for tech sharp photos. Number one, use a tripod. I would suggest a good quality tripod and one that is easier for you to use. I personally prefer a ball head tripod and screw system for the legs. But there are a ton of other options out there too. The most important thing is that you actually enjoy using your tripod, because if you don't want to use your tripod at all. It is worth to spend more than just $20 for a tripod you will get off Amazon, so your expensive camera and lenses don't get knocked over by the first gust of wind. Number two, turn off the image stabilization when you shoot on a tripod. Image stabilization and vibration reduction lenses look for vibrations in your camera in order to reduce it. However, if they don't find any, like when you're using a tripod, they actually can cause it. Number three, choose the correct aperture. Generally speaking, the sharpest aperture for a lens is something between f8 and f11. It is different for every lens, but a quick Google search will give you an answer for your specific model. However, there are situations where even the sharpest aperture won't give you a photo that is sharp from front to back. That is usually the case when you're using a wide-angle lens and your immediate foreground is only a few centimeters away. The distance between the immediate foreground and background is too large to get a photo that is sharp from front to back. You can take multiple photos and then put together in Photoshop as a focus stack. However, when printing large, everything has to be perfect, and focus stacking can sometimes cause blurry edges or funky stacks. If you want to try focus stacking, it sounds more complicated than it is, and Mike has a great video tutorial on it. I'll link it down in the description if you want to go and check it out after watching this video. Number four, use the integrated timer of your camera or use Bluetooth and connect your camera to your phone to take the photo. Pressing the shutter button can cause camera shake that can last for a few seconds. If you use the 2-second timer, the shaking will be over and your photo will be sharp. Check right here in the field if your photo is actually sharp. Zoom in at the back of your screen, check all the details, and if you plan to focus stack, check every single photo of your focus stack. When it comes to settings, make sure to photograph in RAW and in the highest resolution possible for your camera. This ensures that you have the full power of Photoshop available once you're back on the computer. Also make sure to check the histogram to see if any of the areas of your photo are under or overexposed. You usually want your histogram to be as close as possible to the right, the bright side, without touching. If your photo is underexposed, raising the shadows later with your editing software can introduce noise that you will definitely be able to see in a large print. Overexposed areas will not show any details at all, so you also want to avoid that. Okay, we made sure that our photo is in focus and well exposed. Let's head back home and check out some stuff on the computer. Hi, kitty. Alright, we're back in the office. Let's get the photos on the computer. But before we start working on the images, we got to make sure that the room is evenly lit and your computer monitor is calibrated. A lot of computer screens are cool toned, and we want to make sure that what you see on the screen is what you will see on your finished print. I used the Data Color Spider to calibrate my monitor. This is an older model and it was around $130. Next, choose a white background in Photoshop and make sure to reduce the brightness of your screen. This is to make sure the print won't be too dark, because the computer screen is lit from behind, whereas the print is only lit by the ambient light of the room. This is probably the number one problem you'll facing when you print, that your print will turn up too dark. Generally speaking, a photo for print needs to be edited brighter, with more saturation and less contrast. The editing process is a whole different beast, and I won't cover it in this video. But if you're interested, a few other photographers have tutorials out there that will show you how to edit the print start to finish. After all of this information, let's jump on the computer screen and let's get editing that photo. Alright, all done with editing. Now we got to make sure that my print will match the print surface. This process is called proofing. It basically makes sure that what you see on a computer screen matches the physical print. A good print lab will have the print or paper profiles to download on their website, or you can contact them and they will send it to you. After you install the ICC profile on your computer, you can access it through View, Proof Setup. I decided to print on acrylic. The profile I'm using here is called Lumachrome. This is what my image looks like right now, and this is what it looks like printed. As you can see, I have to go back and make some more adjustments that my print will match the print profile. Alright, my print is ordered. Now we just have to wait. It will only be like probably 3 seconds for you, maybe like a week for me. It is a few weeks later now, and the print should get in any minute now. And I thought in the meanwhile, we can talk a little bit about the different print surfaces that you can choose from. And I will talk about the ones that I use the most often. So most print labs will offer canvas metallic, fine art prints, and also acrylic prints. And what I have here is, I have some paper prints and also some acrylics. So this one right here, it's probably your most affordable option. It's just a paper print and then you frame it. So usually, you buy the frame separate from the print. But as you can see, it's, a little bit of a glare. Usually, even if you buy the super anti-reflection glass frames, there is still usually a little bit of glare, which, can be difficult in a room with a lot of windows or a lot of lights. My personal favorite is the absolute zero glare fine art print right here. The surface is 100% glare free, and I especially like the heavy textured cotton papers. The surface is like sandpaper and adds a wonderful three-dimensional look to the image. This medium works amazing for more subtle images with muted colors or surfaces that are very highly structured by nature, like sand or rocks. Fine art paper prints are also very lightweight, even in large sizes. One downside is that the surface is pretty delicate, so they have to be treated more like a classic painting. So you can definitely not wash this off. And then probably the most common ones at the moment are acrylic prints, like this one right here. The surface is very durable and can even be cleaned from potential fingerprints with a soft cloth and some water. Vibrant colors look amazing on acrylic prints, and the acrylic finish creates almost a 3D feeling. On the downside, acrylic prints can be reflective, as you can see, and they can be, in larger sizes, they can be quite heavy and also on the expensive side. And the print just got in. I decided to go with the acrylic for this one to make the colors of the blooming trees really stand out. This is a 32 by 48 inch or 81 by 121 centimeters print with a 1 inch acrylic front. This particular print store also offered different acrylic surface options, and I went for the True Life finish, which is also anti-reflection and abrasion resistant. I'm not affiliated with the print lab, but if you're interested in ordering from the same company, this is from Nevada Art Printers in Las Vegas. I'm fond of how this one turned out, and for now, it will be the centerpiece in our living room. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!